Alright, so getting ready to do another harvest. It's not going to be as much as the first one, but nevertheless, I figured I'd do something and put it on video. So as I'm just giving you a close look, here's some Ethiopian browns. Nice peppers. Dying to try those. We got these are all coming in. Looks like this plant needs to get trimmed back, so I don't know. I think I'm going to strip all of these peppers off. These are the Thai Red Hots. I guess they're all small peppers like this. The whole plant is kind of just small. We got some of these coming in. This is the Indian PC1 right up here. They're basically a short little cane. The Firecracker Pepper. Here's the Teppan. As you can see, I got two varieties of Teppan peppers. Alright, you can see the difference in the Teppans. Maybe I'll do a video on it if I get time. And then you can see the one in the back is like a firecracker pepper. So they call them firecracker uprights because if you look at a pack of firecrackers, all like a bunch of fingers together like that. Well, that's kind of like what they look like. Whereas these are not necessarily looking like firecracker peppers. They're all spread out, and you can see here these are very dense, and the shape of the fruit is much bigger and different. So it's a different type of Teppan. And you can also see the color of the stem on the regular Teppan. You can see the color's purple, whereas the firecracker one never even got any purple on it except by the nodes. So you can see a bunch of it. Turns out on the my Pennick peppers, apparently I got two varieties going here. I didn't even know there was a yellow version of the Pennick. So I got a red version, which is that right there, and that right there, and I have a yellow version of the Pennick. So I have to make sure I separate those seeds. The Bishop's Crown, or whatever that thing is called in the back, that one's coming into fruition. So not too many of those, or I think that's mushroom. Yeah, mushroom, Bishop's Crown, same thing. I gotta pick those. These are gonna be new. I gotta pick them. I gotta do reviews on all of this. I just running out of time, guys. It's just, I'm just doing the harvest is, oh man, I keep tripping here. Just doing the harvest is difficult alone because of what I have to do to harvest these. Then doing the videos on top of it's just getting to be a little much, you know. So maybe I'll upload the pepper taste videos during the winter when I got more time on my hands, I guess. You can see this plant is just about dying. I'm going to try to spring it back to life. You can see I got a little baby in there, so that one will probably come in with me for the winter, for next year. The brown Bhutlah, where are you? You got a brown Bhutlah there. A little bit of colored problem here. I'm not sure what happened with that. Could be something on the inside. That could be mold. Who knows? A couple more brown Bhutlahs. We got some more there. Another one up there. That's a big one over there. A couple more Cayennes coming in. Got some back there. I don't know. I think I'm gonna strip all the peppers off these plants. I'm not gonna wait for everything to turn ripen, except for like the Peter pepper. You gotta wait. I gotta wait at least for a couple of those to get yellow. And this plant really ain't suffering too much. It's got a little bit of problem. I'm not sure if this is. I don't know why this is happening. It could be the heat damage, and the sun, you know, is going back. I don't know. Some of them I might leave the peppers on, like that one. Like these, I'm going to leave the peppers on. This is like a beautiful chocolate version of the Poblano. It's a very beautiful chocolate color. Mulatto Islano. Right there. That's a beautiful pepper. I'm really anxious to try one of those. I've read about them, and that was a trade for seed. We got some lipstick pepper. We didn't get too many lipstick peppers, but it's starting to fruit now at the end of the year, so I'll probably get a few more of those. I think these are lemon habaneros. We got a few of them coming. There's a bunch of them, but they're not totally ready. This is beads, hot beads. You can see I got two varieties of hot beads now. I have a large upright variety that almost looks like a miniature, tiny little miniature or micro bell pepper. And then I got the bead version, which is, there's actually two plants in here, and two of the plants are exhibiting the smaller bead version, whereas this one in the back is actually much bigger. So I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm going to separate the seeds on those nonetheless, make sure I keep them separated. The black cobra is starting to, got a few that's just starting to come out. So this video you're seeing now is early. I just want to get this video up and out of the way, so when the harvest comes, because I do want to wait for some more of the cobras to come in a little bit so I can get seeds from them. You know, so that way when I do the end video on it, you'll see my second or whatever it is, third harvest, second harvest. Look at the size of these. These are the giant Marconis. Look at that beautiful large pepper. Look at the size of this thing. That is absolutely gorgeous. It's Jamundo. It's the size of a tongue, a cow's tongue. It's just a big pepper. I got a good couple of those. I got one on the bottom over there. That's a nice, real big one back there. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got. So I got a total of 5 of the extra large Marconis that are ready, and it's got a whole bunch of flowers on there. So here's the aphids are coming out. I got aphids on my tomatoes outside. I don't know. I'm just, this year was a disaster for me. You can see over here, I have those habaneros I told you about that I got from Walmart and grew them out. Here's a good view of it. I love these habaneros. I'm going to do a taste test on those. I was surprised that I actually got these things. I got them to grow. They're not a regular habanero. As you can see, this is like a very interesting looking peach color habanero. That's not the same as this. This is called a peach habanero. But this is definitely not the same. The plant is different. This plant has a little fur on the stems. This one doesn't. This one has a different leaf pattern than this one. It's just a different type of habanero. I don't know what kind of habanero it is, but boys, they're good. They're very good. I may give you guys some seeds once I get them ripened. Early jalapenos in the back are coming in nice. You can see some back in the back. Now, I think some of the early jalapenos crossed because I'm getting a few peppers off the jalapeno plant that look like this. Okay, so normally that shape should not be seen in a jalapeno. Normally your jalapeno shape is kind of like that or like this. Ooh, did I break it? This one's ready. This one's just about rotten. They look like that, okay, but they shouldn't have that point on the bottom, so that one may have crossed. Over here you can see with some stink bug damage. Okay, that's what stink bugs do. They bite into and suck the juice out of the surface of the pepper. So that's some stink bug damage there. They got a couple of them on me. You can see another one here. Stink bug damage. They got a few of them on me. So they're just about worthless, those. You could eat them, but they're kind of gross. We got some more cascabellas. Not too many of these just came off this plant. It'll probably throw a bunch out before it's actually the end of the season, so I'll probably get some more of these. Peppers tend to want to really throw out peppers in the fall. At least up here they do anyway. So anyway, what else we got here? We got the Jamaican yellow Scotch bonnet. Those are coming in beautifully. And again, here's another plant with different seeds in it that I got, so I have to make sure I separate them. You can see this is the Bell of Galoo. That's what it should look like, right? Just like that. There's another one. Here's a larger one. Right there. That's a nice large Bell of Galoo. That's what they're supposed to look like. This came out of the same seed pack, and I have no clue on what this is. It looks like a bell pepper, but it's very different. Okay, it's very small. It's a very different shaped pepper. This one plant is doing this. The other plants are all like that. What else we got? Yeah, these are coming in. These are going to be really interesting. I can't wait to review those. What are those again? Those are the Dulce Maroon, Moron. I don't know what you call them. I don't know what this is. This is some kind of habanero. That is the 7th pot brain strain. Oh boy. Yeah, this one's supposed to be devastating. I didn't get too many off of this, but I think in the winter I'll get a few more pods out of this. I may even bring this one in. This is a 7-pot brain strain. You can see that's very interesting features on it. You can see a couple babies in there. So we'll get some of those 7 pots, hopefully by the end of the year. What else we got here? These are coming in quite nicely. Look at the size of this pod. Now this is terrifying. This is a... What is this? If I could find the tag. This is a Trinidad Dogla, or Doga, or Dogle, or something like that. Beautifully large pods, absolutely huge pods coming off this thing. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 producers in here, but there's about 6 plants. But I got 3 or 4 producers. You can see I got quite a few pods coming off of there, all the way around. So I'll get plenty of seed for the Dogla. What else we got? We got this thing with the yellow. This is the... Now the cowhorn pepper is wrong. That's not correct on the cowhorn. I got to find out a little bit more about what the cowhorn should look like. This is called the Trinidad Perfume. That's what it says on the tag anyway. So it's a very beautiful looking pepper. I'm sure it's hot as hell. Here's some of the extra long cayennes that I was showing you. I picked these, so they're starting to put out some more peppers. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Some of these peppers look like they crossed. This shouldn't be on here. I don't know what this crossed somehow. Don't ask me how it crossed. There's really no insects coming in here. But somehow this must have crossed with the perfume. We'll have to isolate those seeds and run them out for a couple of generations and see if it stabilizes. This is the Charapita or Charapada. It's a very interesting pepper. It's supposed to be very hot. But it's finally coming to fruition. It looks like I got some little micro pods on there. If you look really close, you can see it's like a little miniature tiny bell pepper. We got another 3-year bell right here. This is one of my 3-year bells, or 2-year bells, 3-year bells. I think this is a 2-year. It's got some more pods on it. Might get a few more pods off of that. What else we got producing in here? We have the Farfarello, or Farafaro. I don't know what it's called. When I do the end thing in the end, I'll show you what it is. Farfarello or something. Cracked. This is the Farmers Market jalapeno. Finally starting to get some cracks on it. This is definitely not a showcase version of that jalapeno, but it's okay. It's better than the cracked. I'll show you the crack once the cracked jalapeno once that comes out. They're slightly different. This is the Caribbean. What is this called? Caribbean habanero. Yeah, this is the Caribbean habanero. This at one time was a world record holder for the world's hottest pepper. This one right here. So we got some pods on that. We got some seed for next year. We should get a good crop going from that one. You can see over here we got the chocolate habaneros. We got plenty of them coming out of there. That's nice. What else we got here? We got the, I don't know how you say this. This is the name. Alright, I'll let you figure that one out. But here it is. We got one nice one on there. We got another one coming up here. This pot's gonna come with me for the winter because it didn't really give me enough fruits. And I definitely want to sample it. So what do we got here? Oh, we got some nice pods hanging off this one. That is the Madame Jeanette. I think this is called Madame Jeanette Yellow. Now, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a Habanero or... But it's called Madame Jeanette. This is my 7-pot, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, 7-pot yellow. I finally got a couple pods. As you can see, they finally started growing. So this is going to have to come in with me, more than likely, for the winter, because it's not going to ripen those pods before the snow comes. I'm pretty sure this is going to sit for about another 2 months. So what do we got? September, maybe mid-October. So I got a feeling this is going to be coming in before I can get any harvest off the 7-pot yellow. This is the Malaysian Gorenong. Got a nice, beautiful, bright orange color. Look at that. Beautiful. I got a couple of them on there. Got enough for next year's seeds anyway. Yep, this is the Variegata. Variegata. You can see they get nice and red. I did a taste test for you, I believe, on one of my videos. What else we got that I could show you? We got these little corkscrew little peppers. Those are coming in. Those are the, what are those? The hualas, the Indian huala or something. What else we got ready? Oh, we got more yellow cayennes coming in. Picked a bunch of those, and they're just starting to reflower and put out fruit again. They take about 2 to 3 weeks to flower and then get some small fruits on it, and then another month after that between that and ripe. So I'm figuring I should get another harvest off of that plant. Here's the ahi. Somebody corrected me on, I was saying haji. It's actually ahi. AJI is pronounced ahi. So somebody corrected me. I thank you very much. You know who you are. You watch my videos, and I really appreciate that. But this is called the ahi habanero. I've heard some interesting stuff about that one. This is the Texas mahoney bird. It's coming in nice. You can see there's some nice little pods there. We got some that might be coming into fruition. What else we got? In the back, you know, we got the purple beauty bell pepper plant. I am not bringing that in. I didn't really care for those bell peppers, but I'll let it reflower. I'll get as many seeds out of it as I can. Serenos, guys. We got Serenos right there. Plenty of Serenos. Nice and red, too. That means those seeds are going to be good to save. And we only got a few poblanos off this plant. As big as this plant got, this poblano plant is literally it's actually over 5 feet, because from the top of the pot to the steel beam here is 5 feet. It's like 5'2" or something like that. This plant is literally almost touching that beam, so it's just about 5 feet tall on that plant, the longest stem on it, and I only got 3 or 4 poblano peppers. I have read that the poblanos tend to be not as heavy producers on shorter seasons. They really need to grow out for like an entire year to get peppers off of a poblano. So, and these peppers take a long time to ripen. These peppers literally been sitting on here all summer, and they're still the same old poblano. You can tell a poblano too. The poblano has that very deep pocket in the top, as opposed to some of the other poblano type peppers I got, like the Islano. As you can see here, the Islano Molta or whatever it's called. You can see that it's a poblano type pepper, but that particular poblano has that very deep cavity in it. Oh, what else we got here? This is the Butch Tea Scorpion. I kept it in the shade most of the summer. That's why it didn't grow, and I did that so the plant could survive. And plus, I had this cinnamon basil growing in there. I just finished harvesting that. That's the Jamaican red Scotch bonnet, which I showed you on an earlier video. I haven't had any time to transplant it. The Piquante. It's getting some nice size on it. It's got a couple flowers coming out, so I should get a couple of Piquantes before the end of the year, but that one's coming in. That will be brought in. So most of these up here are going to be brought in, because these are just starting to put out fruit, and I want to get fruit. You can see this is the what is this? The Guatemalan. This is the Guatemalan orange. All right, so a lot of the flowers died off this still. I'm watering it still, but it's still kind of dropping flowers. What else we got going? We got the white habanero. Here we go. Got a white habanero there. This is supposed to be the small white habanero, I believe. And in the back, we got the manzano in the back. That's I believe the orange manzano. Took a little bit of a beating, but it's split off at the top, so that we're getting ready for some peppers. That's my radicchio. I'm going to plant this shortly in the garden outside. I'll clean it up a little and get this in the ground for the winter. So hopefully I can get a head out of this and or a seed. What else we got? Oh, see, we're still losing leaves. They lose these big leaves at the end of the year. Don't mean nothing. And eventually they turn into this kind of a pepper tree. You know, they all do that once you start wintering them over. And that is the orange habanero. We got our 2 Trinidad Scorpions right here that almost died. You can see there's still plenty of scorpion peppers on it. Nice sized peppers still. See that? Beautiful peppers on here. Deadly hot though. Deadly hot. Dangerously hot. We'll close your windpipe as soon as you swallow that. If you've never eaten one of these before, and somebody played a joke on you and they put this in your sandwich and you eat that thing and you start to swallow that food, right at the point where your food starts to go down, that's when you choke to death because your windpipe closes and you got food in your mouth. So you panic and then you go to breathe in and you suck that food into your lungs and then you literally choke to death. So don't ever play a joke with anybody putting that in their food. Okay? Don't ever do that, guys. That is not funny. That is a very dangerous thing to do. You can get sued for that. This is the Trinidad Moruga. We got the Moruga right here. No flowers yet. No flowers. And you could probably see in my garden I planted a couple of extra Marconi Giant. It's one of those. But yeah, there's a pepper out in the yard. It's still growing and it stayed in the shade the whole. Oh, you can see the butchery that I had to do in here. I had to rip almost everything out. But there's still some mass in here. You can see all the cucumbers. This is supposed to be a Jolokia white. And instead of me getting a Jolokia white, that looks like a habanero white. Okay, that don't look like a Jolokia to me. Does that look like a Jolokia? Looks like a habanero to me. Like I told you, Baker Creek. If you ordered that from Baker Creek, you're going to get Jolokia white. That looks like they just stuffed white habanero seeds inside there and called it a Jolokia. It's not a Jolokia. I know what a Jolokia looks like, and that ain't it. I'd say probably we're moved up into scale as far as mistakes from seed companies. We probably moved up to like maybe, I don't know, maybe about a dozen varieties here that aren't what they were. Does something totally different, just like I just showed you. That's supposed to be a Jolokia white. That's not a Jolokia white. I got ripped off again. Oh, I hate getting ripped off, guys. I hate it. So anyway, like I say, just a quick update on my peppers, how they're doing. Everything on this side of the greenhouse did really well. In fact, they're all starting to bump now. So hopefully by the end of September, I'm going to get a 3rd harvest or a 4th harvest by the end of September. And then this side of the greenhouse really took a beating because of the intense heat that was cooking the pots on top of here. I gotta find a way to cover the pots to take the brunt of that heat because that sun literally roasted them. The pepper plants in the back did okay, but everything in the front line over here, they got roasted. So live and learn, right? I've never experienced 100+ degree temperatures like that before. Even in the greenhouse, when it did hit 80 or 90, I've never really noticed it going too much over 100 or over mid-90s. This was the first year I've seen the temperatures we've seen in here. Literally never seen them that high. Hopefully everybody learned something from that, and you can learn to manage the heat, your peppers and your tomatoes in the heat. The tomatoes are just devastated. They're done. I'm just letting the last of the fruit ripen on here, but they're pretty much skeletons. Some of them are still throwing out tomatoes. You can still see I got some tomatoes coming out, but they're pretty toasted. They're done for the most part in here. They're just totally damaged. The soil was damaged because of the root rot and the water sitting in there, and they need the foliage in order to transpire. And when you're watering it, or they're in these self-watering containers and they can't transpire, they rot. That's the bad thing about self-watering containers. I will not be doing this next year like this. I'm going to have a totally different setup. I'm probably reuse the containers, but I'm not going to go with the self-watering. I'm going to take off the sucker pipe, and I'm going to cut holes low on this so the water don't sit in it, and that's it. If you do self-watering containers, stick with the 5-gallon pails. These big containers, they just heat up too much, and the problem is with self-watering containers is that soil causes the roots to rot on extremely hot days. Alright, so that's a little tip for you if you're going to do self-watering. Stay away from the big containers for self-watering. Stick with 5-gallon pails. Alright, I will see you guys on the next one.